What's up, everybody? It's Urban Libertarian here back again. And I wanted to continue talking about media deception and basically most mainstream media is propaganda and like literally propaganda in the sense of what you think of propaganda as a way of manipulating you into thinking and doing certain things. Time Magazine's just been really bad. I mean, I guess at one point they were good, but this article, this magazine cover is just super deceptive, and they're standing by it. And this little girl actually was brought in by her mother. She was essentially kidnapped and brought into the U.S. and she wasn't separated. It turns out it was a big scam. I mean, not a scam, but what you see isn't what is really is. So let's go to the Daily Mail. This is where I heard about this first. So basically, the father of the girl did an interview, and basically, he was a captain in a boat, and he had a pretty decent job. And it's revealed that she spent $6,000 to be transported with her daughter. And if you think about it, I mean, I don't know about you, but do you have 6,000? I don't know if I have like 6 grand just to come up with something. And I'm an American. Most Americans don't. I believe they have less than like, I want to say it was like $5,000 in savings or something. But most Americans, this would be hard to come up with. So she's coming claiming political asylum, and it's just false. And hopefully they reject it because of her husband's testimony here in this news story. So basically, let's see. So his name is Dennis Javier Varela Hernandez. He's 32. He hasn't heard from his wife, who's with his 2-year-old daughter, for nearly 3 weeks. So she brings her daughter through the desert for 3 weeks. And where is it? I don't see any outrage with that, right? Ridiculous. You can imagine how I felt when I saw the photo of my daughter. It broke my heart. It's difficult as a father to see that, but I know now that they're not in danger. They are safer now than they were making that journey to the border, he said. So this is very damning right here, right? I mean, this isn't the United States. This is the mother putting her in danger for 3 months. For 3 months. I don't want to cuss. This mother is abusing the children, and people are freaking out. I mean, and she wasn't even separated from her mother. She was never separated. And that's child abuse right there. And her is totally disappointed, but he's happy at least she's, getting 3 square meals and has a bed and warm. Oh my goodness, maybe even some preschool or whatever they do for kids like that. And then this Border Patrol agent's actually spoken out about this about this photo. And if you're watching this video, you probably already know a lot. Thankfully, a lot of people are talking about this. But the reporting from, surprisingly, the reason I use the Daily Mail, they're kind of, the reporting's kind of sometimes, but they honestly, for events in the United States even, they're on it, and they have very deep coverage, and they get different angles that's hard to get in America. I don't know why, but it is what it is. But yeah, he says, I didn't support it. I asked her why. Why would she want to put our little girl through that? But it's her decision at the end of the day, right? So he works as a captain on the coast in his town. He explained things back home were fine but not great, and his wife was seeking political asylum. Well, that doesn't make sense, because you can't seek political asylum if things aren't fine. They're not great. Because if you could say, well, I'm leaving gang warfare and all that stuff, the people of Chicago, Detroit, parts of Los Angeles, unfortunately many parts of LA, all over the United States, they could literally claim a political asylum in other countries. I guess they could go to Germany. They could probably, I don't think Switzerland takes them, but they could probably go to Europe under those conditions. I mean, our own countrymen can claim political asylum in our own country, and then what? It's ridiculous. I mean, it's sad. Like, I understand everybody wants to do better, but, and this article talks about she already got caught before. Look, they have clothes, they got a picture, they got a smartphone. There's no, you don't need political asylum. The car looks nice. Everybody looks fed. Back here, it looks like, I mean, damn. She's kind of a little gaunt here. That was a journey. Just why would you do that? I just don't understand. It's terrible. And well, the problem is too is past administration said, "Come on over, and we'll just let you in." And this is why we have this problem. So that was fake. That was just fake news. And then Time standing by this misleading photo. It's ridiculous. And I tried to find memes for it, but I couldn't find it. People are doing all kinds of memes. But then if you look at even the Washington Post had admitted the crying Honduran girl in the cover of Time was not separated from her mother. They even talk to the dad, but you'll notice that they don't talk, are you okay? And then they talk about how, that the media was pushing the agenda. She wasn't separated from her mom. And then they just kind of it's just kind of, they have to report on it, but they don't really get that into it. If you read this article, it's a lot less damning. And then Vox even came out and says, look, Time Magazine's cover isn't bold or brave, it's exploitive. It's shocking because Vox is usually on step with Washington Post and New York Times. So this is from the National Review, so you're going to get a bit of a different angle. But anyway, the cover of Time Magazine's July 2 issue depicting President Trump and crying immigrant child is being shared at lightning speed across the internet, with people calling it powerful, chilling, and bold social commentary. And then another thing is a lot of these pictures that people are circulating were under the Obama administration. And it's not like people shouldn't be concerned about this. The problem is that when the media, I already talked about how the media manipulates, and they'll bring up issues, they'll be silent on they'll just not report certain things. During the Obama administration, this is what I was screaming my head off, saying, what the heck, just because Obama's in power doesn't mean that everything's fine and dandy. There's a lot of bad stuff going on, and if you can look into it, people sued the Obama administration for terrible conditions. The media reported it barely, and nobody gave a big stink about it. And that's just ridiculous. That's really ridiculous, because that shows you don't care about people. You're just concerned with your political party, and that's really disgusting. It really is. Anyway, I digress. Oh yeah, so they had to say, we since learned, blah blah blah. Oh, let's see. What did I want to see? So they basically end this saying that it's dishonest. Where was it? Photojournalism and journalism broadly has always been intrinsically tied to the bottom line. If it bleeds, it leads. A long-standing newsroom adage used to describe what makes the front page. All too often, the news lives are the extremes of the human experience. There's a reason we cover a conflict halfway around the world when a war breaks out, then forget about it when peace comes. Likewise, when it comes to marginalized communities, we tend to focus on the tragic narratives. In doing so, we've primed our audiences to accept this sort of imagery as an unflinching lens, as something noble, brave, and bold. But in reality, we have profited from the pain and suffering of black and brown people, calling it heroic journalism, while it's created and edited by mostly white people. I don't want to get on white guilt, but I mean, they're kind of, that's where they're kind of making it white versus ethnicity. The bottom line is, and they're kind of mixing it. They're kind of screwing up the message there, and that's their point. They're kind of getting it there, but they don't give it to you fully. The point is that journalists who have also been minorities have used people in general. The media has used people. I don't know why we have to say, white, mostly it's white, and they've been using, it doesn't matter. I mean, you look at the Yugoslavic countries, and they exploit white people too. The sad reality is that all too often, if we are to try to feel anything for the other, it needs to be horrific. We need to see someone's worst nightmare. And if we as an audience, as citizens, want to become more compassionate, then we need to push back on the exploitation of personal tragedies and ask our media organizations that represent us to do better. And this is what I was talking about when the media was, well, first of all, let's talk about why are we talking about this now? It's because of the Inspector General's report from the Hillary Clinton email investigation that totally indicates massive corruption within our government in the DOJ and FBI, right? So this was why they exploit these children to deflect you. And I already showed that in my last videos. Go ahead and check them out. I used examples of the Kuwaiti babies in incubators that was proven hoax. And this is what they do. It's disgusting. It's really disgusting. And it gets people all riled up, and it produces a lot of emotions and hate on the, I guess I would say, the other side, the liberal side, and it riles people up, and it's just sick. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.